So this right now is the conclusion of Dark Knights of Prague.
So our two hungriest fellas are in the middle of a bunch of hunters in the street.
Where all shit has broken loose.
And one of them is not in control of himself.
And one of them is not in control of himself. Absolutely. So, the door slammed shut. We're going to just fucking hop right into this. I'm fucking excited. The door slammed shut with an echoing thud throughout the entire Elysium. There's a small amount of dust that's raining down from the ceiling. And we have Mr. Prophet, Dr. Ford, and Benny standing alone in a silent Elysium as they can hear the muffled shouts and gunfire coming from the outside. What exactly is Benny, Dr. Ford, and Mr. Prophet? What's going through their heads?
Shit.
Spoken like a true Banu Hakim. Oh, God. All right, what about the other two?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dr. Ford is probably just pressing her hands against like her chest, where like the recently shot bullets at her have kind of torn through her skin. She's just kind of like, well,
Dr. Ford injured again.
Do you want me to heal it? Last time it didn't end so well.
Do you think they'll survive? I'm ready to just walk.
Wow.
Wasn't the last time Dr. Ford was riddled with this many holes also because of the Inquisitor
Oh,
in the hospital?
Potentially.
I don't think I don't think that was the last time.
No, but the last time was because of the crypt, the skeleton.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Benny.
Yeah.
The skeleton Benny.
Yeah.
Man, why is our Tremere the punching bag?
Karma. Anyway.
Because there's a Banu Hakim in the park.
Because they're the Tremere, obviously.
No, it has nothing to do with your clan.
We're just
karma,
directing things at you, Dr. Ford.
That's what
The real clan bane of the Tremere.
Bullet sponge.
Yep.
Damage magnet.
So,
And Mr. Prophet, sees this as like we're in a losing position in chess. We're pawns and we need to get a rook on the board, and hence is heading to find Krill.
okay. So, Mr. Prophet is running towards the Bruja area,
Yes.
where the staked Bruja Primogen / sheriff / loose cannon of this city is currently in in stasis.
Staked in frenzy, if I remember correctly.
Okay. So so that's what's going on inside. What about outside? What is up with Paul and Emil?
So my understanding is Paul is now somewhat in the middle of all these hunters or SI agents.
I believe you basically popped out right in between all of them.
Okay.
So you're
And so-
surrounded by all of these hunters, yes.
No, I was going to say, actually, I think if I remember correctly, I specifically remember saying I was going to blink in between all four of them, so that if any of them were going to shoot at me, they had their own men downrange.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm actually thinking of.
Yeah,
I remembered
and
one of you. It's been a while.
All came up between the two closest to the door.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yep.
Okay.
So either way, they can't see me, but I can see them now. And has Henry run? Because he's in fear frenzy, right?
Now, I trust Silent as a player to run his own frenzy.
Okay.
So what do you think that you would be doing in that?
Well, I am at hunger 4.
Mm-hmm.
And this witch hunter is bleeding. However, before that could get the better of me, he flashed his holy symbol at me, and like decades of guilt and shame have just rushed back to Henry's mind. And he is a relatively high humanity vampire. He is crying tears of blood and is fleeing like just craziness. He is just gone. He's leaving.
Okay, so you are attempting to leave. Refresh my memory. Henry has or Emil has Auspex.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do Sense the Unseen or Heightened Senses?
Heightened senses.
Heightened Senses. Do me a favor, since there is now a shroud oozing from the essence of your compatriot. Do me a favor and roll wits plus streetwise, and go ahead and throw your Auspex into that as well.
Okay. Wits plus streetwise?
Yes. Plus Auspex.
Plus Auspex. Okay. It's a modest roll.
Yay, our first roll of the night.
And it's at 4 hunger. Let's go.
Yep, do not forget that's hunger. That's awesome. Come on, messy crits.
Oh, I rolled that in the wrong chat. I'm sorry. I forgot we have an entire,
I'm just gonna point out. I'm just gonna point out that you built this damn thing.
I'm very well aware. I was just excited to roll the dice. Try that again.
No, we're happy to have you back.
Looks like I got 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, and let's see. Were you sitting on any damage? I don't think I had anything written down for you.
Nope, not taking any damage yet.
Okay, so at 2 successes, there's going to be a little bit of a dead end scramble when it comes to your your attempt to flee. Simply because you just cannot figure out where the hell you are in all of the confusion. There's still bright flashes out of complete darkness that's coming from the gunfire. There's still the panicked yelling of the actual SI, and then there's just the complete death of darkness in the area that you are completely surrounded in. Paul, you can definitely see Emil attempting to flee, but lost in your shadows. You can also see the sudden startled behavior of the SI, but nobody's suffering from lack of oxygen as of yet or anything.
Okay. I hate to be the one to bring this up, but I am at hunger 4, so do I need to resist the hunger frenzy?
There is, in fact, some bleeding occurring at the moment, so why don't you go ahead and roll a difficulty of 3 hunger check.
What is a hunger check again? Composure resolve?
It is, in fact. Actually, I believe it's your current willpower.
Yeah, it's unspent willpower plus 1/3 of your humanity rounded down.
Yep.
Okay, so... Oh, yeah. Don't like those odds. What's this again? Roll. Uh, 3 successes, but one. Whatever that means.
It's just 3 successes.
Yeah, that's just 3 successes. You're fine. So you are holding it together, but you do know that not very well. So since you're the only one who's in clear mind with clear vision in this entire situation, what does Paul do with his little world here?
He hesitates for a second, looking at the blood from the what's his name? The Witch Inspector General?
The Witch Hunter General. Witch Hunter General, yes.
Because this is the same guy that they ran to in the hospital that escaped, right?
Unless
like he almost had him.
Unless there's more of them.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was like exact like. If
You
could tell it was.
You really can't tell because it's the same uniform.
Okay.
But most of them
like,
are all wearing this.
On.
Yes.
Okay. So he does kind of hesitate looking at him because he knows that these people are extremely dangerous, and he can recognize that this might be a chance to take one of them down.
Yeah. Does Paul have any extra sensory perception powers? I'm blanking on that.
He has heightened senses.
He has heightened senses? Okay. Mm-hmm. That's not going to really do anything here. But, okay, so...
he will... I'm trying to think of how to do this in one action.
Mm-hmm.
I think... let's see. Can he reach out and grab Henry before he gets too far away? Like, grab him by the arm and pull him in his direction?
You can definitely attempt.
Okay. I think I'd like to do that.
Okay. For you, that's going to be a dexterity plus brawl check. And for Emil, that is going to end up being a dexterity athletics because he's actively trying to get away.
Because I am in frenzy and I am trying to get away, I did have fleetness active, so I will be adding that to my die pool.
Absolutely.
It's not ideal for me, the player, but it is fair.
And I appreciate that. You are now you're a hindrance in this game right now, and that's fine.
Yes, I am.
Also, this die pool is entirely hunger dice.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm frenzied and I'm going to make this everyone else's problem.
That's amazing. So I see 2 successes on Paul.
Quite a lot.
6 successes. I see 6 successes on Henry.
5.
5?
Yeah.
Oh, I was counting the 5. Yeah, 5 successes. Okay, so what is going to end up happening is you are going to reach for Emil. And when you go to reach... Yes.
I am in the shroud?
Yes.
Everything I roll is at a -3. I forgot about that.
Is it?
Yep.
Do they do that in 5th? I couldn't remember.
Mm-hmm. Yep, all rolls are at a -3.
Oh, cool. I didn't even know that, and I have the thing pulled up.
I would have mentioned it for the awareness, but after I rolled, I realized it wouldn't have changed my outcome. I'd have just had one less success. So.
Yeah. Now, out of curiosity, is that a -3 to your successes or a -3 to the roll?
I believe it's to the die pool.
Okay.
I re-rolled it if you want to take it off of the successes, or if you want to just take the new roll, it's up to you. I don't care, but...
Let's see. 1, 2...
I think it works out either way.
Either way, you're losing. It does not matter. Yes, Paul, you will be able to grab hold of Emil's arm as you reach out to get him.
Okay, I want to kind of pull him with me towards the door, like kind of steer him by the arm.
Okay.
I know he's probably not consolable at the moment, but maybe I can direct him towards a good path to flee.
Okay. And you're just going for the door, mundanely, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I would just say that would be a physical challenge against the 2 of you. There's no reason why you can't make it to the door personally. So it's just whether or not you can drag him there. I would go ahead and say that you have him grappled at this point. So yeah, it would just be like a standard strength plus brawl test for you, and probably a strength plus brawl for him as well.
Okay. Oh boy. These are all hunger dice. 1.
1 success.
2 successes and a bestial failure. Wait, I don't know. Does that count?
No,
Considering
because you technically succeed the roll.
you do
You have
technically
successes.
succeed the roll there, yes. So yeah, you will be able to rustle the door open and drag him inside. So as you're coming inside, there's other stuff happening. So Mr. Prophet was running towards the Bruja sanctuary. We're just going to use that. You're running towards the Bruja sanctuary at that point in time. What were Benny and Dr. Ford doing in response to Mr. Prophet just bolting in the opposite direction away from the door?
I was seeing if she wanted healing.
Yes.
'Cause-
At this point, I don't think she's going to ask. She's just going to start walking away from the door.
Okay.
I'll
All right.
kind of grab her and heal her as we go.
Okay.
Oh,
So we've got a forced heal against your will, apparently. And is that there's tests involved in that, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Was it intelligence and fortitude? And
I see 2 successes. Now,
Oh, so
is that
no
against
heal.
anything?
That was what I was
difficulty
gonna-
2.
Oh.
Difficulty 2.
okay.
So I can't heal you any. No fast and nasty healing.
Shock.
Well, let's continue on. We have to find a way out of here.
Okay, so I'm seeing this as kind of an interesting walk where you grab a hold of Dr. Ford and attempt this while you're walking. How is Mr. Prophet heading towards the sanctuary? Are you running? Are you just walking fast?
Oh yeah, running.
Running? Okay. So while that's happening, Mr. Prophet gets into the sanctuary to come across a sight that he probably did not really expect to see. You are going to see...
Diablerie mid-act.
Oh, werewolf.
a werewolf. Yeah, there's a werewolf in there.
It's
No.
doing a dance.
You
That
walk.
makes sense.
You walk in, and it's just an awkward freaking.
It's doing the Carlton.
It's a Fortnite thing going on. they're just dancing. There's like 3 werewolves that are teabagging Corral. No, Mr. Prophet runs. You go up the stairs. You find the hole that leads into the Bruja Sanctuary, which is that old, beaten up, what looks like maybe a portion of maybe a maintenance part of a garage that has a bunch of just junk in it. A pool table, chairs, a little bar set up, and everything. And what you see is Omnis standing over Kirill, about to take their helmet off. They have not noticed you yet. How do you handle that situation?
Oh, I'm gonna rouse for unseen passage.
You're going to rouse for unseen passage? Okay.
Rolling exclamation point roll, is that what it is? I forget.
Yep. Exclamation roll.
1, 8, 10. Roused. Oh god, I got hungrier.
Oh shit! I forgot to do my rouse check.
Well, no reason not to do it now. Just go for it.
Yep. Man, I got hungrier because now's the time.
That makes me happy. That puts Benny at 3 hunger.
This is not good for any of us right
This
now.
is great for me.
It's great for you, podcast listeners. Enjoy the chaos.
All right, so
Revel in our misery.
So, Mr. Prophet, as you're entering and you notice this situation happening, you see Omnis crouched over the staked body of Kirill, and he's about to, or they are about to take their helmet off.
Yeah, I'm watching and trying not to make any noise at this point.
Okay.
I'm obfuscated. Yeah.
So as Omnis places their helmet on the ground, and I'm going to just go ahead and say, just for frustration factors, they are back to you. So you can't quite make out their face where you're standing.
I'm going to try to sneak up and get a good look.
You gotta know.
Yeah.
All right, and what about the other two who are walking slightly faster and would catch up eventually? Are you two heading to the sanctuary as well, or are you guys going somewhere else?
My first impression was to get to the exit, get out of here.
Oh, okay. You're heading towards the opposite end of the Elysium then.
Like that was what I was thinking of doing. Any thoughts, Benny?
GTFO? Yes.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. So blissfully unaware of everything that you just described.
Awesome. So, Mr. Prophet, as you sneak around and you come across the clean cut hairstyle, the short brown hair, the pallid white skin, and then the face and extended fangs, which are now lowering closer and closer to Kirill, of Mouse.
Ooh.
This is the gentleman that you ran into who was pretending to be SI. That was trading the information that nobody could find the location of him. And his fangs are going to go in.
I'll speak up, I'll unobfuscate and go, "Hey, fuckstick, what are you doing?"
He is instantly going to drop Kirill to the ground with a dull thud. And stand up, take a few steps back, and he just, like, with this angry, bestial voice, look over at you and just go, "You."
I just point, I'm like, "The SI has breached Elysium. We need help."
There's a look of urgency on his face as his eyes kind of dart from one side of the room to the other and back at you and back down at Kirill, and he goes, "If I do this, I can handle the SI."
Ooh. Why don't we just unstake him and let him flip out on him?
Or he could flip out on all of us. At least this way his blood can be put to use.
Okay. But you better be like Jesse Ventura in the Gulf of Tonkin. You better breathe lightning and crap thunder. And then you owe me.
He's gonna get a nice maniacal grin on his face as he goes back to finish what he was starting, unless you're gonna do anything about it.
No, but I'm gonna, while he's busy, I'm gonna get out of sight again and re-rouse to be invisible.
Okay. Go ahead.
Please pass this. Oh no. It's really not good.
So where is Mr. Prophet out now? Let me check those notes.
Or hunger.
Join the club.
Yep, for hunger, and you're in the process of watching an elder get diablerized. So why don't we go ahead and throw that self-control check and see how the beast thinks of this.
Oh, no.
What is my pool?
Your pool...
Unspent willpower?
Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Unspent willpower, and what is it, 1/3 of your humanity?
Yep, rounded down.
And you are -1 will at the moment.
Right. So 4 and then 1 rounded down. Is it still 1 or 0?
It should just
0.
be. It should be 1. I don't ever I don't ever take in roll down to 1 or roll down to 0. That's just not cool.
I think. How low is your humanity? Holy crap, dude!
Oh, humanity. I'm sorry. 7.
Okay,
was
so then,
looking
you'd roll 3.
Okay.
Or no, 2. I'm sorry, 2. Yeah, it's 1/3, not half.
Okay.
I'm like, dang, Mr. Prophet rolling around with a 3 humanity? What's going on?
Okay, Mr. Prophet definitely can keep control of this situation. Your beast is like, if he's Diablerizing him, he'll be distracted. You could Diablerize Mouse. and use him kind of like a straw to Diablerize Kirill yourself. But there's nothing forcing you. Nothing forcing you to do it.
You wouldn't have Diablerized Kirill then. You're innocent.
Ooh.
And Mouse is technically a thin blood, so who cares? Okay, so the Diablery will take place. Mr. Prophet can do as he pleases at that point.
Does Prophet know what's involved? I mean, am I just literally biting him and holding on?
Huh?
For Diablery?
You know that you have to remove all of the blood and continue to suck. Like, you would be basically swallowing the soul of your victim.
If you were about to Akeem, we give classes.
You ever heard the phrase, "Suck out my soul"?
Follow my channel for more tutorials. Oh my god. Anyway, but yes, Mr. Prophet is 100% in control of everything. As for Benny and Dr. Ford, as you approach the statue in the Hall of Iniquity, which is the Toreador Sanctuary, it has been pushed out of the way completely. So it reveals a set of stairs that leads down into the Nosferatu tunnels that you spent some time in not too long ago.
Well,
you guys just heading down there?
For what it's worth, fuck Prague. She'll go in.
Should we get Prophet at least?
He knows the way, doesn't he? Where did he go?
He's Prophet. Where does he always go?
I mean, technically, you guys saw him leave first in a run. There's a good chance that you guys think that he already went down there.
Yeah.
True. Let's go.
All right.
So you are heading down into the tunnels?
Me and my tasty friend.
Okay. As you guys are going into the tunnel, you will notice several figures coming out of the tunnel.
Uh-huh.
Ekaterina the Wise, Lily, Samuel, Kristoff, Aneska are all walking slowly up into the Elysium.
Playing 5D, she was on the 6D chest. Dang it.
And off the ropes, it's Ekaterina the Wise.
You know, all over my keyboard when you said with the steel chair.
Out of character, I highly considered making Omnis Ekaterina.
Oh my gosh.
I knew I shouldn't have stopped being suspicious of everyone.
I was like, screw it, you guys are canceling Blood Hunt, I'm writing my own damn story now.
With blackjack and hookers.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
So yes, the Sabbat are coming up the stairs as you guys are getting to the entrance.
Miss Wise, I do believe I have a gift for you.
Oh?
Something that I think will help us in this moment. I'll reach into my backpack and pull out the book.
Okay. Her eyes get huge. Her eyes get just absolutely huge when she sees that.
Mm-hmm.
And her hands go out as if she's a child reaching for a new video game from their parents.
You have to assure safety of my coterie.
Oh?
Please give me a charisma plus persuasion.
Oh, I don't think I'm good at that.
Dr. Ford is surprised at this request.
So this is all hunger?
Awesome. It's okay. She respects that.
Oh, no.
No successes.
That is a bestial failure.
That's a bestial failure, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, she respects it. It's okay, she respects it.
At the last second, Benny says, "Bitch."
Wow.
Oh my god. No, Benny does not say bitch. God damn, I did not expect that.
At least it wasn't 2 1s, but it is 1 1. Which is
It's all I need is one.
Benny just like, you slack jawed, where'd you get these scars? Why so serious looking?
Why you got that scarf over your face?
Alright. So, as you say those fateful words, and you hand over the book, I need an additional wits plus insight roll from you to find out exactly what happens with this horrible bestial failure that you just got.
I'm just scared.
Oh, you should be. I'm hoping for a success on this one. Oh, yes! Yay! Yay! Okay. As you hand over the book, and she puts her hands on it, and you're looking into her eyes for any sense of who this person is, what they actually believe in, the Banu Hakim compulsion of judgment overtakes you. Your antediluvian takes hold of your being. And you can tell through the look of greed and maniacal hunger for power that all Canaanites have, especially this one, that she is outright lying as she says, "But of course." And the compulsion of judgment takes hold, and you must consume her.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So I'm going to leave you with that little mental stroke. And so at that point, Paul and Emil, or I should say Paul is wrestling Emil into the door. The shadow that you've produced that is coming from your body is wafting into the room like a flood during a heavy rain as you pull the Toreador into the main hall, throwing him towards the ground and slamming the door behind you. And none of your other coterie mates are there. You also have a slathering Emil on the floor at this point.
I was gonna say, am I still in frenzy?
Yes.
Okay.
Paul
Emil's just running. He just takes off running across. Unless I'm still in the grapple, then he's just flailing helplessly.
Would Paul had let go of him or just thrown him in the hall?
I was thinking Paul would have been like half, like one arm over, like he would be supporting someone, and like half like fireman carrying, where he has like one arm wrapped around him that's like pinning his other arm to his side.
Okay.
And it's like kind of trying to half console, half like encourage, like, just follow me, we'll be okay, follow me, come on. And it's just like dragging him away, like it's gonna be okay, come on.
Unfortunately, socially trying to talk someone down from this is just futile without specific disciplines, but Yes.
Yeah, it's just kind of the instincts he has, and he's kind of. I'd imagine Emil is just trying to get away and run almost at random, just get anywhere else.
Like
from
he's
where he
sobbing,
is.
like he's just hysterically sobbing, and just screaming like, not even like coherent words, just like pushing against you, flailing against you, trying to roll and turn out of your grip.
Yeah, this is the beast in full fear.
Okay. Well, I think once he gets him through the door, he would try and kick the door closed, and then just keep dragging him back down into Elysium to try and get as far away as they can until Emil can kind of recover.
Okay.
He's probably keeping an eye out for any source of blood because he's hungry, and he's sure Emil's probably hungry too.
Understood. Emil can smell some very potent blood, which unfortunately is second concern to survival in general at the moment, because you are in a fear frenzy, not a hunger frenzy, regardless of the fact of how hungry you are. Other than that, Paul, without any kind of heightened senses, is not going to pick up any blood where you are. But if we could get another, I guess another strength plus strength plus athletics check to try to wrestle Emil into the main hall.
Also, I do have heightened senses. If that
Oh, do you?
The smell.
Okay, then
I didn't know it was passive. So.
You do actually smell. Well, you're supposed to activate it, but in a situation like this, I don't care. You can definitely smell some very potent blood in the area.
Okay, I'm gonna take some liberties here narratively, and you correct me if you think that my logic is flawed.
Please go for it.
I am in the throes of fear frenzy. I have just been forced by the purest of faith to relive over 6 decades or so of all of my biggest sins and failures.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at hunger 4, and I'm currently pinned and cannot move.
Mm-hmm.
Survival is tantamount, and I'm gonna bite the thing that won't let me go.
I completely agree.
Pig McOuchies.
Yeah, and we're already in a grapple, so
how the turntables.
So
how the turns have tabled.
So I can see as Paul is trying to wrestle Emil into the main hall, away from the stairway, away from the door, because now that you've separated yourself, those hunters can now see again. They know where you are. The danger is just outside the door. I see this being...
Is my shroud kind of following me?
Your shroud follows you. It's centered on you.
Okay.
So it's really up to you whether or not you want to keep it up at that point, or if you let it go or if you let it dissipate when you get inside.
I hunger for it, so I'll keep it going.
You'll keep it going? Okay, well then you're technically still in the dark, Emil, so you're still 3 points down on attempting to bite Paul.
Okay. Well, let's see. Well, that's I believe that's a strength brawl, right?
I believe it would be strength brawl for you and strength athletics, or strength. I would take either strength brawl or strength athletics from Paul.
Okay. Well, the beauty of being having the traits that I have and suffering that -3 is I don't have to rouse roll, because either way the dice pool can't be less than 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I failed.
You failed?
3 successes.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to, with quite a lot of difficulty, because Henry's a lot stronger than he seems, you're able to, with a good amount of difficulty, get him into the main hall, where you can see Kuskos's desk and the banners for the Dark Age clan symbols, but you don't really see anyone else. You're in the Elysium alone.
I guess. That's a tough one. And I'm trailing a giant cloud of shadows.
Okay.
And Emil's just trying to like gnash and bite at you. Like, he's just trying to like make contact to break skin.
Yeah.
I think now that he's in Elysium, he will dissipate the shroud, and he's gonna try and pull Henry over to Custos
Now,
to request some sort of aid.
well, Cuscos isn't there, just where his desk is
just
with
his
stuff.
desk.
Like I said, you don't see anybody else in this Elysium.
Okay. Then he's going to just keep dragging him, shroud up and everything, down and towards the tunnels.
Okay, so you're heading towards the Hall of Iniquity as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and say that's happening. And I guess back to Mr. Prophet. I'm just going to go ahead and say that Mouse is very close to the end of the Diablerie. So are you going to just allow this to happen?
Prophet just doesn't think he could stop it.
Okay. I am going to say that you're going to take 2 stains.
Yep.
As Kirill's body starts to crumble underneath its own weight and turn to ash. And Mouse is going to throw his head back, fangs extended. He actually had very small fangs when he bit down, but as he throws his head back, his eyes closed, enjoying the pleasure of actually taking in the soul of a much stronger kindred, his fangs look like they extend longer than they were. And he just seems to be losing himself in the experience.
Our Prophet is gonna grab the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
And then gonna push it into Mouse's hands. Say, fun time's over, let's go.
He shakes off the revelry, grabs the helmet, looks at you, and in the most angry, but also, I don't know, it could just be considered a threat. It could be considered a request. He looks at you as he's putting the helmet back on and just says, "Keep your mouth shut," and then starts heading towards the exit. Do you? He is heading towards the back exit that leads back into Omnis's personal chambers. Where are you going?
I'm still gonna follow him. I'm assuming he's getting weapons.
When he gets down there, you'll notice when he does this, because there's a mechanical wrenching sound. It's horrible. It sounds like something that should have a mechanism that's supposed to work, but he hasn't taken the time to do it, and he just does it physically. And he grabs onto the large desk, the center console area where the largest screens are, and just kind of pulls it towards himself, revealing a passageway behind it. As he's doing that, the leather that's wrapped around his body, that tight leather that makes him look so small and so wiry, starts to like pop and burst under the expanding size of his biceps. But he just yanks it off the wall, revealing another way out.
All right, I'll be right back. I gotta get my coterie.
Before you're even done with that sentence, he just heads down.
Right.
And you're running out to the rest of them?
Yep.
Okay. What about where's Benny? What's going through Benny's head right now?
Rethinking all of his life choices.
Yeah.
Oh God. So, handed over the book. Let's go. There's a witch finder and some entity agents that need to be taken care of.
Okay. She takes the book greedily. She goes to turn and then turns back, looks at the both of you, Dr. Ford and Benny, and goes, "Where's Kirill?"
Last I saw, he was staked and in the Bruja wing.
Yeah.
She turns her head towards Kristoff and says, "Go get your brother." And you can almost see like there's a sense of duty, but also like a rolling of the eyes. and without a word, just he runs off with the woman Nesca following behind him.
Who does that leave with her?
That leaves Lily and Lily, Sam, and Wilhelm. So there's 4 of them and 2 of you.
Oh, there's only 1.5 of us.
Yes.
Between the 2 of us, there is 1.5.
That was mean.
Oh, I'm talking about myself. Dr. Ford, you got this.
Okay.
Now your compulsion is fully active. You need to punish this elder.
Yeah.
So.
Key to comedy.
Yeah.
I'll start leading her back to the Witchfinder.
Okay. Okay. How are you leading her to the Witchfinder?
Come on, this way. You know.
Right this way, madam.
The target
Dr.
is
Ford
over here.
Dr. Ford's not going out there. Dr. Ford wants to keep leaving.
Understood. So is Dr. Ford just going down the tunnel?
Yes, she's going to basically nod at Lily and the rest of them as she attempts to pass.
Ford, where are you going?
Where are you going?
Taking her back to our friends. Let's go.
I don't think this is the time. And she'll just turn and walk away.
If not now, then when?
She's not answering. She's just walking.
Fucking Tremere.
Now, are you going to try to... And I'm not trying to take control, I'm just wondering if this would be a thing, because there are things we need to take into consideration. Dr. Ford is 1 point bloodbound to Benny. Is it 1, or is it 2, or is it 10? Where the fuck are we standing?
It's 1.
The last time I heard it was 1.
Okay. Is Benny going to try to entreat Dr. Ford into doing something?
No.
No? Okay, you're going to let Dr. Ford do their own thing?
Let her do her own thing.
Okay. If Dr. Ford walks down the tunnel, there's going to be a quick look between the remaining Sabat, and Lily is going to follow.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Is she making it obvious that she's following?
Oh yeah, no, she's like she follows behind you. She awkwardly follows you in her heels because she's wearing high heels. Like her boots are high heeled, and she'll be like, "I'll show you the way out."
Thank you. I'll need the help.
And so Benny is taking Ekaterina towards the hunters. Okay. As Paul is wrestling Henry or Emil, I'm gonna fuck that up constantly.
One of them.
Yeah, he is both.
He is
one in the same.
He is both. They are Henry.
They are one.
They are one. As Paul is wrestling Emil into the main hall area, that's about the same time that Mr. Prophet comes running out of the stairs next to the dried up fountain at the top of the room that leads into the main hall. And also the same time that Benny and Ekaterina are walking out with Sam and Wilhelm in tow. So I guess all everybody sees is this blob of shadows walking into the room from the main entrance.
Seeing that everyone, like seeing some people that he actually knows for once, he will drop the shroud.
Okay.
And kind of reveal what the situation is.
Okay. Yeah, the shadows slowly dissipate, retreating to the corners of the room, going to where they should be. And yeah, you all can see Paul manhandling Emil into the main room.
Paul just says, "What's the situation in here? Didn't go well out there. They're coming.
We got reinforcements."
Frenzied Henry, seeing Ekaterina the Wise, becomes even more frantic and doubles down.
Okay. Do you want to try to get away from Paul?
I mean, I can
Let's
try.
do this again, round 3.
Give it another shot, because there's always a chance of fuck-ups.
I didn't hear no bell.
Nice.
Oh well, there's no shroud anymore, right? So
yeah, you're not too
surging might
down.
actually help here. Okay.
True. You got a blood surge?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Of course.
Hunger
don't give a crap about your hunger.
Hunger is second is second to survival here.
Okay.
These are all hunger dice, by the way.
Yeah, I figured.
2 successes.
2 successes. What about Paul? Did Paul?
I haven't rolled yet. I was considering using prowess, but I don't know how metagamey that is.
I mean, you've got it. You've got it. Flaunt it.
4 hunger.
I'm actually in Riley's favor here. If I recall correctly, he had actually activated prowess when he was grabbing people with the tendrils.
That's absolutely true. I believe that's true.
I forgot about that.
Well, it's been an hour and a half for us. It's only been like maybe 30 seconds.
Okay. Also, how does this count as a strength test? Because I've never used prowess in that way before.
Yeah. So if it's a roll involving your strength that does not result in damage, you add it to the die pool. Otherwise, you add it to the damage dealt.
Okay. So I basically just add my potence to the die pool.
Yep. Unless Mekhet. I mean, I don't mean to muscle in on Mekhet here. Sorry.
Nope, you're good.
Rolls a messy crit and breaks me in half. Holy shit.
Wow. Wow. 3, 4, 5 successes. What is exactly?
That's 6 successes.
Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes? Okay.
Yeah.
What exactly is Paul attempting to do here?
So I think if he's gnashing his teeth at him again, like trying to
he flips the fuck out and starts trying to go for Ekaterina.
Paul will kind of change his grip, and because he's kind of holding him to his side, he'll bring the arm that he has holding him like around his shoulders over the top of his own head, and just like kind of slam him into the ground, and like put his knee on his back so he can't get up anymore, and kind of hold his arms down.
Okay.
Not trying to cause any damage, but like as immobilized as he can possibly make it.
Yeah. So the clouds dissipate.
And then he gets the steel chair.
Nice. The shadows dissipate throughout the room, and then you just see Paul just effectively suplex Emil onto the ground, putting his knee into the small of his back, and you've just got Emil freaking out like a wild animal.
Paul looks exhausted at this point. He looks up at them like, we need some help with him. Blood, I don't know anything. He's lost it. I'm not too far behind.
Let me see. Well then. Let's see. I need Emil to throw a stamina plus resolve.
Uh-oh. Stamina plus resolve.
Yep.
This is all hunger dice.
Oh, good. Pretty sure I won.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Okay, so what ends up happening here is when Paul entreats for assistance with everything that's going on, Sam, the Nosferatu, kind of in his own little rat way, he just kind of slouches, his hands are up like a T-Rex almost, and he takes like really awkward robotic steps. He makes his way over to the scene that's happening with your Lasombra and Toreador friend, and he kind of makes these awkward shushing sounds, like trying to calm you down. He actually reaches out and starts petting Emil's hair with his gnarled, clawed hands, and it completely takes Emil out of frenzy. He just used Quell the Beast on Emil. With all of the situations involved, you effectively you are unable to call upon your blood, and you have been knocked out of frenzy. It's really kind of funny because like when you start coming out of it and you regain your sense of self, there's just this like hideous rat-like creature who's stroking your hair, going shh, shush now, it's time to calm yourself.
He immediately just slaps his hand away.
And he'll skitter off. He'll skitter off and like kind of halfway hide behind Wilhelm.
Emil, Henry, whatever you call him, he's just laying on the ground looking up at the situation. What is going on? What happened?
Okay. All of you are in the same room except for Dr. Ford. You can now hear loud banging on the front doors.
You lost control. I had to pull you in here.
We went and found the reserves that are going to help us get out of here.
Paul will like slowly let his weight off of Emil and help him up.
He'll stand up. He makes a very lackluster effort at dusting himself off. Like, he still looks very anguished in his expression.
Ekaterina's just kind of smirking at you as the rest of them are just kind of watching hesitantly to see what you're gonna do. You will notice that Kristoff and Aneska are not with them. But you'll also notice that Ekaterina is now holding that book that Benny has had since almost the beginning of this entire experience. And she's clutching it to her. She's clutching it to her chest like it's a baby.
Henry's eyes dart to Benny, just staring daggers, like awaiting an explanation.
Oh, and Dr. Ford's not there too. You should probably know.
Oh yeah, Dr. Ford's not here.
Oh, neither is Lily. God, there's a bunch of people missing from this situation.
Let's deal with the SI. They're here to destroy us. Let's destroy them first.
I'm going to look to Ekaterina.
She's watching Benny as he's speaking. And, like I said, holding the book. It's really hard to read a lot of what is going on with her. But if you want, you can do a wits plus insight roll to try to pick up something from her.
Because Emil's mind, or Henry's mind, is putting the pieces together, and it does not look favorably on anyone here.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a specialization for insight in motives.
Okay.
Would that apply?
Yes, it would.
Can anyone roll this, or just him?
Anybody can roll it if they'd like. You're in an area with enemies, or at least perceived enemies.
Not good. Goddamn.
Looks like 2 successes.
2 successes. She is. Let me see. Let's go ahead and say.
I'll ask this because I actually have a good line of thought. If I failed.
Okay.
So, if I did not roll enough successes to read this situation correctly, I'm going to say that the throes of hunger and the beast have pushed Emil into, like, a paranoia of sorts, because it looks like... Well, I'll save that for whenever you determine what the outcome of the roll is, but I know what this looks like.
Okay. Well, you rolled 3 successes, or you got 2 successes.
Right.
She got 3 successes in her defense of that.
Okay.
So, if you would like, we can do a win at a cost. It will be a steep cost.
I don't know if that's worse or better than the terrible tuition that I've put together here. I think I'll just fail it and assume and make assumptions about the situation.
Okay. Did anybody else roll for that?
I got
rolled
4.
2 successes.
Okay, yeah.
Prophet got 4.
4 successes from Prophet. There's this little voice in the back of Prophet's head. I mean, it's always there, but there's a little voice. There's a little voice in Prophet's head, and there's just this sense of betrayal coming directly out of Ekaterina. Like, she has this look in her eyes of, I've already received most of what I want, and we're so close to the end. So that is what Mr. Prophet's going to get as he's, like I said, walking out of that, like, little curved staircase that comes up around to the main hall.
Yep.
Around this same time, though, Kristoff and Aneska are going to be at the top of the balcony looking down at everybody from the entrance into Kirill's little sanctuary. And he's going to yell, Ekaterina, all that's left is dust. And a look of sheer anger and hatred is just going to flash over Ekaterina's eyes.
Can I interject something here real quick?
Yes.
So, Henry gathering his assumptions. It looks like Ekaterina has outplayed him at every turn, and she was able to do it with the success of his own coterie. That's what this looks like to Henry's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Because Benny refused to answer his question. She has his book. Paul drug him in here, and the SI are at the door at the same time she's coming up from the back stairs, and there's no one else in the court around.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to interject this at the proper narrative point, but Emil is going to be fleeing. This is a lost cause.
Okay. So,
like, whenever the opportunity presents itself for him to flee, he is just split-seconding out of the, like, leaving.
Can I put a little extra paranoia into Emil?
Absolutely.
I would love to fuck with your head a little bit more.
Please do.
With all that situation that you're going through, and I'm 100% in agreement with everything that you just said from your perspective, that makes a lot of sense. I would also like to point out that you've already had one horribly violent encounter concerning your Banu Hakim and your Tremere.
Uh-huh. And my Tremere's not here.
And your Tremere is gone, and the Banu Hakim's book that he held onto so tightly is now in the arms of one of your deepest enemies.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that Benny diablerized Miss Dr. Ford.
Yeah. And then I hear that someone is a pile of ash.
Yep.
I would like to rouse for split second.
I mean, there's no reason why you can't do that. You're not allowed to blood surge, so you should still be able to use split second.
Okay.
Sorry for throwing you under the bus, Betty.
Oh, no.
Come on, that's some stereotyping right there.
I'm just saying, this looks really bad, and Henry is not happy with the way this is turning out.
Uh-huh. Oh my god, that is a wonderful fight.
Alright, I succeeded my rouse check to split second.
Okay.
I am breaking for the I'm basically quick escaping to get out of Prague and calling loose end in the process.
Okay, so are you trying to get down to the tunnels? Like, how are you getting out?
Well, Henry's pretty familiar with the tunnels because he spent some downtime down there.
True.
I think he is going to take the most obscure path he can, and he's going to be not toward the exit that he told everybody about near the mine. He's taking the path to get to the exit north of town, north of Prague.
But you're heading into the entrance under the statue in the Toreador area, correct?
Yes, I would assume that's the only way he knows in from here.
Okay. Let me just read this real quick. The player can supersede the storyteller's narration of events within reason. They can choose to have their character move through a door before it closes, circumvent an ambush after it has been triggered, roll out of the way of an explosion, and so forth. The action taken must be reasonable and should not be taken more than a few seconds. Should not take more than a few seconds in real time. The storyteller decides what skills, if any, need to be checked, successfully accomplished. Okay, tell you what. Since you're in this situation, you're surrounded by all of these people.
And I feel like they're all enemies about to jump me.
You feel like they're all enemies about to jump you. What I need you to do is something that is not typically done.
Okay.
You may add your celerity to this, given the situation, but the test that you're going to roll is going to be your dexterity plus your composure.
Okay. Okay. And I'm not allowed to blood surge for several more turns still.
You may not blood surge, no.
Yeah. That's pretty significant die pool. Let's see.
Because you got to run, get around these people, and keep yourself calm in the process.
Critical success for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. Well then, this is going to activate almost exactly the way Blink would. As everybody is standing around having this conversation, trying to figure out what they're doing, suddenly, Emil's just not there anymore. If anybody in the group wants to roll a wits and awareness check, I can probably tell you what direction he's going in, but other than that, he's just gone. So, I'm sorry, Paul's reaction was just like, I don't care.
No, that was my reaction to my awareness pool.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like, fuck it.
Let's see how this goes.
Okay.
Hunger 3.
Okay, so Mr. Prophet got like, what was that, 7?
Yeah.
No, 6.
A bunch.
Okay, and
Messy crit on Prophet. All right.
Shit.
And I got 3.
Okay, so no one's going to see what happened. Okay, Riley's still going. Okay, Let me make sure that we get Paul's.
Meager little dice pool.
Hey,
Oh
you
my
can.
gosh, Mr. Prophet.
Yeah, that's not going to be good.
My wits is okay. It's just my awareness is.
Okay.
2 successes.
No one is going to see what happened. However, Mr. Prophet is going to be overcome with paranoia on the fact that one of his friends just ghostly vanished.
A leader.
Yeah, effectively your leader just vanished. Was he ever really there? Was he one of your hallucinations?
Oh no.
Who the hell knows if Emil, Henry, whatever his real name was, even truly existed. I mean, as it is, it turned out that mouse was ominous.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really believe anything that's happening anymore. So enjoy that compulsion.
Yeah.
So cruel, I love it.
Malkavian clan compulsion. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and say, out of this situation, Emil has fair escape. However, you're about to get involved in a different situation. All right. So in a blink of an eye, Emil is just gone. How do you all react to that? We got to get back to Dr. Ford in a few minutes, also. But how does everybody react to Emil just being gone?
Paul flinches and kind of takes a step backward, closer to the shadow, in the corner of the room, and then he looks at Benny, kind of like gives him kind of like a what the fuck look.
Dude, Vinny's giving you a what the fuck back. These Camarillo people, they have no backbone.
He looks to kind of the group that Benny's sending with him. I kind of imagine that he just naive, but he just kind of takes things at face value. So he didn't even really pick up that there was a big concern of like being backstabbed or where's Dr. Ford. He's like, all right, we're here with reinforcements. Like, we need to prepare.
Yeah. How old is Paul?
He is, probably like solidly like neonate, like 10 or 15 years.
Okay, so probably not much activity, if any, with the actual Sabbat.
No, and like due to his background, he kind of, I feel like, was very sheltered in a particular way. So, he just kind of looks at Benny, looks up at Katerina. Okay, are we fighting? Make our stand here.
She looks around at the kindred in the room. The anger she had in her face fading from what Kristoff had yelled from Kirill's area, and looks towards the door, still hearing the pounding, which is getting even more intense by the second. And she looks at all of you and says, now is the time for you all to decide whether you make a stand or retreat. Neither answer is wrong, but the idea of letting the SI believe that they have emptied Prague is going to be more beneficial to you than a stand that brings on a full war.
Paul kind of looks down at the place where Emil was last standing before he speaks. So we'll go with you then, is what you're saying, back down the tunnel.
If we fight and the kindred are executed, there's more of a chance of the elders that are under the ground here, the elders that are in hiding, them dying and waking up stronger things.
All right. He'll look over to Mr. Prophet and kind of nod at him and Benny, and then ask, "And where's Dr. Ford?"
She left. She fled. Again, the Camarilla doesn't raise people with strong convictions, apparently.
Well, we're here now, so we can depend on each other, I guess.
Right now, I'm with her, but on the fact that we need to stand and defend this. This is now ours.
Defend Elysium?
Yes.
Wilhelm is going to look at you and say, honorable, but why?
Because the remainder of the people I hold close are here and haven't left me. We make our stand here.
But we could all escape together.
I won't be followed and chased till the end of my own life. We can take them out. We have the numbers.
So we kill the squad and then leave?
Take out the squad and then leave.
Paul will slowly kind of sigh. Like, okay, I'll stand with you. Is there any blood around? That last bit took a lot out of me. And you can probably kind of see that his fangs are probably visibly extended as he speaks.
You all don't know exactly where blood was kept here, but you do know that Maya had always had some somewhere. Since she always was able to get drinks for people and stuff.
Oh yeah. He'll go ahead and walk past the group, maybe unwisely turning his back on Katerina, to go check out the what's that little nook and cranny called?
The little Hall of Iniquity.
Hall of Iniquity, yeah.
That's the area. Yeah, there's like a whole bar set up over there and everything. As you're walking away to do that, Katerina is going to look over at Benny and go, "Fine. What exactly are we doing to protect this hall of yours?" She looks around like she's been here before, and she her sight lingers in certain areas.
Paul would call back. There's 4 agents out there. One of them is quite wounded. And he has some sort of...
That's where our blood is.
I don't know that that's a wise idea. The last time I touched one of them, it burned. He has a cross on him and a symbol that...
Rip it off of him.
That'll burn too.
Pull them apart limb from limb.
Christoph is going to yell down as he's walking down the stairs to join the group, and Eska following him. Who's the hungriest? Who needs to feed?
I'm at hunger 3.
Hunger 4. Paul would poke his head up from behind the bar where he's rifling through whatever he can find. I hate to impose, but I almost lost my cool back there.
Christoph unsheaths this very ornate, decorative, terrifying-looking sword and hands it towards you like a knight would, passing it on to a fellow warrior. Use this.
Paul stares at it for a moment and then slowly reaches out and takes it. He doesn't look particularly familiar with a sword like this, but he kind of holds it with some reverence because it obviously looks special.
It has a feeling to it when you hold it. Can you do a wits plus occult check?
Sure. Oh, that's a good dice pool.
Holy shit. Let's see. 5, 6, 7. 7 successes. Okay. It does not harm you at all, but you can definitely tell that when you grab the handle, there's like these odd little pinprick feelings in the palm of your hand. Like it slightly breaks your skin. And you can feel a very strong mystical presence coming from this sword. Out of character. This sword is going to give you a +3 to whatever damage that you do. And I need you to roll a rouse check also whenever you use this sword. And a success is going to drain 2 blood traits from the victim of the sword and put it into you, and a fail is going to take 1 blood trait and put it into you, as long as you hit the person first.
Okay.
So
it comes up even as long as you hit them.
Yes, yeah. If it hits you, if it hits them, it's going to steal blood. Mm-hmm. Regardless. This is the Ankaran blade. And cool. Yeah. It's nasty. So yeah, right. Kristoff hands off the sword, and you can automatically tell that this thing is going to help you gain blood.
All right, yeah. As he grasps it, he looks back up to him and nods. Thank you. And then he'll hold it in 2 hands and come to stand beside Benny, facing the door.
So, what are we doing about these hunters?
I'll look to Ekaterina. Lead on. In times of war, we fall to a warrior.
On that, she's going to start walking towards the front. Let's go down in the tunnels with Dr. Ford and Lily. So, Dr. Ford is walking with Lily, and they are calmly walking through this area. If there is any type of conversation, who do you think would initiate? Would Dr. Ford initiate any conversation, or do you think Lily would? Or I guess the best question is, yeah.
Oh. I think she would just be like kind of muttering to herself a little bit. So if it's a conversation per se, it'd probably be on Lily to really start it.
Okay. What kind of stuff would Ford be muttering to herself?
Oh, man. Like, what was Betty thinking? Kind of hope Henry dies. I kind of hope he doesn't. Just kind of like this back and forth, because the last thing that she saw, Henry's on the wrong side of the door along with Paul, and she's just kind of like she's just like questioning everyone's decisions. She's questioning her own decisions. But I believe, isn't Lily leading the way?
Lily is leading the way, but like next to you. She's basically just telling you which turns to make and stuff. She's not like ahead of you.
Okay. So at any given turn, Dr. Ford's probably going to say thank you, because she really hasn't taken the time to know the way out. She is literally at the mercy of Lily's discretion.
Mm-hmm. I am going to roll 1 die. To decide Lily.
Okay.
Okay, an 8. Okay, with an 8, Lily is intently listening to you and letting you... She's basically interacting with what you have to say. When she's talking about what was Benny thinking, or when you talk about what was Benny thinking, she's going to be like, well, you know, slave to the blood and all that. Like, she's trying to sympathize as best as she can. If I had not passed that test, she would have just been not listening and completely just talking about her own shit. Just just completely oblivious to everything in Lily's little world, just doing her own thing. But she does seem to be rather sympathetic to the plight that you're going through, and she will go on and on about like the benefits of being in a pack over being in a coterie, about how coteries will still betray you regardless of the rules, where packs are set free from the blood bonds, and it's their actual personalities that come out. And you don't have to worry about, like, you don't have to worry about sudden, inevitable betrayals.
But, like, as you were saying, with the way that the clan that I come from has had like their blood has been affected. We can't bond other vampires or other canites, and I don't know how it actually impacts Tremere if we participate. Like, would the pack be all, in a sense, bound together with the exception of the Tremere where they don't have that same connection?
It's not about bonding them together. It's about removing the bonds that are in the way.
Yeah. I guess there's just so much I don't fully understand.
Well, not to be a broken record, but I understand, like, the Camarilla just doesn't tell you things. And then on top of that, your Tremere, which, I mean, from what I understand, that's just a layer on top of the layer of not telling you things.
Yeah.
She seems to genuinely be concerned about your mental well-being, about your mental state, and she's literally going to offer a hug.
Dr. Ford's going to take that hug.
You're going to take that hug?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. She is going to lean into it. She's going to hug you very deep and try to make you feel completely safe and happy in all of that. And I need you to roll a wits plus insight.
Okay. Right. I do have a specialty in insight for motives.
Okay.
So if that applies, then...
Absolutely.
Okay, I get to roll 4 hunger dice.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say 400 dice.
No. 0 successes.
Zero successes over her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Yeah.
So you lean in to this hug, and it is the most genuine thing that you've felt in you cannot remember. It is all encompassing. It is everything that feels wonderful. Even though there is a quick, sharp pain, which turns into ecstatic bliss as she sinks her fangs into your neck.
Oh, dear.
And let's go back up and see how the others are doing.
Oh, dear.
I am so sorry, Dr. Ford.
Hey. That's
you were destined for fangs no matter what.
However, I'm going to put this out there. A little bit of a hint of what might happen. Emil is on his way down there.
He's zooming.
So we will see how that goes in just a few minutes. So the rest
He's
of you,
hungry too.
yeah, the rest, yeah. Well, Toreador on Toreador. Let's see how that goes. So yeah, there's what exactly? You guys are letting Ekaterina choose what to do here, correct?
Oh, getting her into the front lines is my main goal.
Okay.
Paul is standing by Benny.
Whatever it takes to get her out there.
Okay, well, I succeeded on that roll for Ekaterina. Ekaterina tells Paul to, or whoever is up to it. Ekaterina points out that on the main door, not the door that's being pounded on, but the one at the bottom of the hall that opens up into that area. So, like, if you shut the other set of doors, they have another set of doors they have to go through. She points up to to one of the cornerstones on the doorway itself, and she will point out the fact that there is one of them that is slightly a different type of stone than the others. And she says that she needs something to dislodge that stone. Does anybody have any idea on how they could do that? This thing is probably about 15 feet up.
Shotgun?
What kind of vertical do I get with Soaring Leap Potence 3?
Soaring Leap Potence 3, I would say you could probably do it. Since it's a specific spot on the archway that she's wanting you to get, it's going to end up being dexterity, athletics.
So, like, she wants, like, can I attempt to, like, jump up there and, like, ram it with my shoulder kind of thing and dislodge it?
You possibly could.
Just kind of throw myself at it. Alright, I will try that.
Okay. It's going to be Dex Athletics. And you got
successes.
2 successes. I will go ahead and give that to you because it's not a hard thing to do. And this stone is actually fairly loose comparatively to everything else. But what ends up happening is when it knocks into it, it falls loose and a wooden beam that looks older than most of the things in this room is going to be dislodged from behind it and kind of make a crossbar that covers the door. Giving you all a few more seconds on how to deal with this situation. So there's 4 of them, correct?
Yes. 3 more regular soldiers, and then the wounded one with the, I don't know, Holy Cross or whatever.
His flesh is already open?
He was shot.
Good.
And I think some of it came through the armor. He was bleeding.
Good. I may be able to utilize that.
I'm going to fall back a little.
Okay.
Try and get behind everybody.
Okay. Well, you're in the main hall itself. What does everybody want to add to this planning session?
Paul would mention he can shroud the doorway, but they didn't seem to be affected by it like normal humans are. And
well, I want to point out that they were only technically under that shroud for like a round.
Oh yeah.
So they hadn't really had a chance to start suffocating yet. I just don't want you to think that there's like some supernatural reason why they weren't.
Oh
like,
no, I was assuming it was the helmets, that they had some sort of failsafe in there to keep them breathing for a little bit if something like that happened. Other than that, he would probably figure that the best place for him would be flanking one of the doors with the sword, waiting for someone to walk past.
Okay. So you just basically want to hide and ambush.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about Mr. Prophet?
Mr. Prophet's still where he was. He's kind of holding his head and pacing a little bit back and forth. It's really close to, I'd say, triggering his thing is his delusion, and he's like questioning, like he thought he achieved the thing he wanted, but where was the last real thing that happened that he can count on? And if anyone gets close, he's going to just retreat from where he came from.
So like back down into Omnis's area?
Yeah. I did have a question.
Sure.
This is just a rules thing. I have a total of 5 hunger. Is it when I scratch off the 5th one, I go into frenzy, or if I'm already at 5 and then I fail another rouse, I go into frenzy?
You are just currently very easily frenzied at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The slightest scent of blood, any provocation, anything like that is going to just set you off.
Okay.
So, but if you try to rouse your blood, that's going to set you off as well.
Okay. The prophet's going to try to stay up there, like at a distance, just witnessing what happens.
Okay.
But if anyone, he'll activate heightened senses of hearing. If anyone begins to get close to him, he's going to retreat. I'll probably rouse to go to unseen passage and then go down into the Omnis hole and try to close it behind me.
The Omnis hole. Okay. All right, and Benny.
Falling back as far as possible and keeping my eye on Ekaterina, because the second ship starts going sideways, I'm going to start extinguishing her VT.
Okay. She is standing at the base of the stairs that lead up to the doors that were just blocked off. And she's standing, looking up at the doors, holding the book with her right hand up, holding it in a preparatory blood sorcery fashion is really the only way I can think about putting it. Given what you know about her, and given how much you know about blood sorcery, why don't you throw me a wits plus occult roll to see if, or an intelligence plus occult roll to see if you can figure out exactly what she's considering enacting.
And this isn't historical occult, right?
Huh?
Specialty in historical occult.
This is not historical occult, no. This would be just a stance that, like, any blood sorcerer might take.
4 successes.
4 successes. She is in the perfect stance that you can tell that as soon as those doors fly open, she is going to be enacting theft of vitae.
Okay.
All right. So I guess the next thing that's going to happen is everybody is going to hear that front door burst in. And now it's just the one door that's separating you all. Any thoughts? Or are you all just waiting?
No thoughts. Just swords.
No thoughts, just the words. Okay. Okay, it's not going to take long then after that. There is going to be a bit of silence for probably about 5 minutes, where most of the Kindred have taken some kind of stance of war. Sam, the Nosferatu, seems to have just vanished. Wilhelm has feral claws inactive, and he has found a high spot out of sight from anybody who comes in that he can ambush. Kristoff has found another blade. It's a very large bastard sword looking thing. He looks very comfortable with it. And Aneska has found a place to hide behind a suit of armor. It's kind of ridiculous at first when you look at it, but she seems to have something planned. I see Benny throwing a roll. I'm kind of curious now.
No, I'm just getting ready.
Good thinking.
But as I said, Katarina has not moved. But you guys are going to hear a loud thud with a metallic click. And the wood that has been knocked down is going to split. Not completely, but it's going to outward crack. And the door is looking like it's taken a bit of a hit. They have actually strapped some form of explosive onto it, and they've blown part of it off, and the door is about to swing open. So the door at that point will swing open, revealing 3 armed hunters with the Witch Hunter General behind it, looking down at everything that's going on. But the moment that happens, Ekaterina finishes her preparation, and a stream, what looks like a stream of vitae, is going to come from the general. I need to see how much damage this is going to do to this poor guy. This poor guy, my ass. Let's see. Wits plus blood sorcery plus wits, or versus wits plus occult. So, yay! Playing with myself. Let's see. 10. Okay, this is a Katarina who got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Versus that guy, it's going to be... Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 successes for Katarina. 4. Okay, there seems to be a little bit of a mental struggle between Ekaterina and the other guy, who he drops to one knee, holding himself up with his sword, but it doesn't look like anything is really happening much. There's a scream of pain from the Witch Hunter General, and that is it. Kristoff is going to take more of a stance. Wilhelm is going to leap down. And what do you guys do?
Is anyone in swinging range?
Is anyone in swinging range? How close to the door did you position yourself?
He positioned himself just literally to the, like, hiding at the edge of the door, so...
Oh, okay, then yeah,
there's... someone took a few steps in, he'd swing at him.
Then yeah, there's definitely somebody in swinging range.
Alright, I'm swinging.
Okay.
Is it...
What are you doing?
Melee?
You're just punching?
I'm swinging that. No, I'm swinging that big old...
Oh, the sword! It is going to be... it's a big, hefty sword. It's going to be strength plus melee.
That's what I'd like to hear.
Yeah.
Alright. So first I'll roll the rouse check for it.
Do the rouse check after, just because you might not hit.
Yes.
If you don't hit, then you don't hit. I think this person is going to be shooting, but I don't think he's going to be shooting at you. So we'll see how that goes real quick.
And prowess only adds to the damage, so it doesn't add to my hit pool. Okay.
4 successes on his end.
Jesus
Holy shit.
Right.
Okay, so he is about to open fire, but what ends up happening is this blade slices into him instead. Go ahead and roll that rouse check. That is a success. You open into him with the blade. It slices in, it grates metal on bone, and those of you who are seeing this happening notice that the blade starts to turn blood red and then returns back to its metallic silvery blue as two rouse traits worth of 2 hunger go into Paul.
Sorry, accidentally rolled.
No, that's absolutely that's absolutely fine. So yes, you get 2 hunger taken off from that for Paul. What exactly is Benny doing?
Going ahead and starting the extinguished vitae on Katerina.
So against a Katerina.
Yep.
Awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll for that then, I guess.
What is
Also,
it?
a question: how does
Stamina
the melee
composure.
damage comes from the margin on the roll?
I'm sorry, what?
Melee damage. It comes from.
It's the margin, yeah.
Okay.
And I do get hungrier.
Okay, you get hungrier. Your successes were 2
Yep.
versus her 1, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Her 9 successes. Not only are you unable to get that off, she knows what you're doing. And that is not a good thing for you.
Not a good thing for me at all.
Let me see. Does this require touch? It does. Where are you doing it? You have to touch her for extinguished vitae, right?
I don't believe so.
I think that's the
Line of sight.
Line of sight. Where are you?
As far back from her as I could possibly be.
Okay, she is gonna try. She is going to attempt to go directly after you now. And so you do that, she notices, and she turns to face you. What are your actions on that?
Level a shotgun at her and hope.
So you're going to stand still and try to shoot?
Wait, hold on. Flashbang at her.
Okay.
Last flashbang today.
Okay. So that's going to be a dex plus firearms? And I have hers ready.
So mine is all hunger.
Yep. There we go. So you got 5 successes. And she got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. And that was her just grabbing onto you.
And from messy crit.
From across the room, she grabs onto you with your messy crit. What's your hunger?
4.
Okay, it's at 5 now.
Yep.
And I need you to roll either composure plus occult or composure plus fortitude. It is up to you.
I think it's the same either way.
Okay.
Occult, yeah, and fortitude are both 3. So.
And here's that. Oh, fuck. 6. 8 successes.
I got 3.
Okay, let me just make sure this works. Or how this works. Oh, God. You got 3?
Yep.
Okay. Well, if you were not at Hunger 5, you would be on Hunger 5 now. She's using Cauldron of Blood, and you're taking 5 ag.
do believe that puts me down.
How down? What kind of down?
Like full.
Okay,
I
so
only have 5 health boxes.
and she did 5 ag. Do you have any other like how many health do you have total?
5.
5, and did you have any other damage?
No, I did not.
Okay, so that puts you into torpor. So if you take any more aggravated damage whatsoever, or if anybody decides that they're going to take a couple minutes to play with you, it would outright kill you. So what everybody sees is the burst of the hunters coming in, and then Benny, out of nowhere, attacking a Katarina being on the other side of the room as Benny is trying to shoot at her, and then Benny just red blood vapor just boiling up to the surface, maybe some rashing on the skin as she latches onto him with this look of pure, intense hatred in her eyes. And Benny is going to, I would imagine, scream, and then hit.
Yeah.
And then she's just going to be holding him up like a rag doll as he seems unconscious, but he's still kind of steaming.
I'm smoldering
with a blood vapor. Paul, you're a little busy. What about what does Mr. Prophet do about all this?
Yes, Prophet sees this, like tears come down his face. And he's going to make a run for it and go into unseen passage as soon as he can.
Okay. Everybody's a little bit busy, so I don't think anybody's going to be following you. But your whole idea is that you are going down into Mouse's... You're going into the mouse hole, correct?
Yep.
Okay, and your idea is that you want to pull the door behind you?
Yeah, shut.
Okay. I think that's really the only thing you need to test for right now. Is a strength plus brawl check to see if you can actually pull it closed.
The answer is probably no.
It might not be. This is going to be... It's heavy.
No success.
Yeah, it doesn't budge. It doesn't budge. But you head down into Mouse's hole.
Yep. And then obfuscate.
Okay.
Crazy.
Most of the
I'm now at,
huh?
Yeah, 5 hunger. I'm now at 5 hunger.
Yeah. So there's a whole spectacle fight going on. You definitely hear the flashbang go off, Paul, but I wonder if you noticed. Please do me a wits and awareness to see if you can tell what's going on around you outside of the fight.
All right.
God, I wonder how this is going to end. I'm so fucking nervous now. Got 2 people in really bad situations.
One success.
One success is going to be you not realizing what's going on. There's too much happening right now. There's Wilhelm, who is just berserker shoving his claws into one of the hunters. At this point in time, Ekaterina has burst from behind the armor that she was in full horrid form. And she has picked up one of the other hunters and is now just chewing on it. Chris, yeah.
Is the hunter that he slashed dead? Or is he still standing?
The hunter that he slashed is... Actually,
I don't know if we figured the damage.
Let me figure something out real quick. Let's roll 1 die for a Katarina, or for an Eska real quick.
I'm just gonna let you know while you're doing that, I am back in case you didn't see the chat.
I did see that you were back.
Okay, fantastic. I've been listening the whole time. It's how the turns have tabled.
Yeah, there's shit happening.
Mechanics are happening.
All right. One success. No, she did not grab the Witch Hunter General. She just grabbed the closest guy to her. And she is gnawing on him and possibly ripping him out in half at the same time. So currently the Witch Hunter General is still there. Yeah, so what would be Paul's mentality there?
If the hunter that he initially slashed went down, he's let's see, one second. He's soaring, leaping the distance between him and the hunter general.
Okay, and what are you trying to do to him?
He wants to kill him.
Okay, you just want to land on him?
No, he's like has the sword like point down. And like stabs it into him.
Okay, that sounds fun. Let's do. I'm trying to think of a good one for that because you're jumping. I think this is going to end up just being a straight out dexterity plus athletics. With the sword. And yeah, if you outright win this, it is going to just fucking kill him. He's going to try to hold his shield up in response to that. So okay. I'm going to go ahead and do let's see. That is what you have to beat.
That's impossible.
5.
Well, not impossible.
Not impossible. It's unlikely. It's unlikely.
Eesh.
Okay, so he
a skill failure.
He is going to hold his shield up, and you are going to effectively land on it and fall off to the side. But you are now in one-on-one combat with the Witch Hunter General. So
my go?
Yes, your go.
Is that the turn? Oh, cool. I am.
I'm basically going to be responding to your stuff with his actions.
Okay. I think now that he's regained some of his hunger from that sword strike, he's going to take one hand off the sword and kind of gesture at the general and cast the Arms of Airmen. And I'm aiming to kind of grab him and trip / crush his legs somehow.
Okay, you're trying to cripple his legs with.
Knock him off his feet so he can't escape.
Okay. At the same time, he is going to attempt to swing that blade of his at you. Only 3 successes. Oh shit.
A lot of successes.
Yes. 4, 5, 6, 7 successes. Okay, so he swings, but the shadows wrap around his legs at the exact same time, crushing with extreme force of the potence that you have. And do you have the ability to add your potence to the successes, correct?
Yeah, it's plus half potence for damage. So I have 3 potence,
so it would be plus 1.
On 2.
Okay.
Or 1, yeah.
So 1, 2, 3 successes for him. 4, 5, 6, 7 successes for you, plus 1, 8 successes. You are going to deal 5 damage to his legs with your potence and the shadows. So he's going to let out a pretty nasty scream as he crumbles to the ground in agony. Still holding on to that damn sword, though. So what are your thoughts now that he is down on the ground?
He's gonna come stand over him, and does Paul get? I'm trying to remember, how much does Paul know about those swords? Because in the past, it has like. The guy in the hospital was like using his sword.
I mean, you've seen it do some pretty nasty stuff. It does not look normal.
Okay.
Like it has some type of holy radiance.
Can Paul come and stand, like put one foot on his wrist so he can't move that sword, and then use his hands to try and finish him off with the sword in his hands?
I do not see why not. Go ahead and roll that attack. That's going to be strength plus melee. And he is going to attempt to swing at you at the same time. He is down fucking traits, though. So, we'll see how that goes. That is his difficulty. Holy shit. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
4. He did it. All right.
That is a
5, 6.
That is a messy critical.
Cool.
So, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8 successes on a messy critical. You step on him. You step on that wrist. And he goes to swing. And you can tell just there's just something that takes hold, this ruthlessness inside of you, this overpowering sense of righteousness over this righteous person. And you have to make this the worst possible death ever for him. What do you think you would do if the morbidity of Lasombra himself was working through you?
Well, and this would be kind of a stretch. I messaged you something earlier about the ritual. Walk the abyss.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? I know it's it's a ceremony, so it typically requires some setup. Is that something I could kind of throw him into?
Are you effectively trying to put him in an oubliette?
Yes, I want the shadows to creep all the way up his legs and just slowly wrap his entire body until the last thing he sees is my face looking down at him.
I love that. And with the amount of secret abyssal mysticism that you've been pulling since the beginning of the game, I think that is the best fucking payoff for Paul ever. So
he has his hands on the sword like he's gonna finish him off, and then that kind of compulsion hits him, and there's a gleam in his eye. And normally Paul is just very stoic, but he actually smiles.
Oh yeah, no, there's evil in your face when it comes to this.
Yeah, he lowers the sword and just wills the shadows to consume him slowly.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that is exactly what happens. Anybody who is there to see it, which I don't think any of your compatriots are, would notice. Where is that ritual? Is that in cults?
I think it's actually the kind of made up one you gave me for disappearing for my reasons.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and just say that within your pocket is a small piece of charred stick. You've effectively have a small piece of charcoal in your pocket. And as that feeling of ruthlessness takes over you, you just reach into your pocket, say a few words under your breath, and snap it in half. And when you snap that charcoal in half, this man's shadow comes to life, slowly overtakes him like he's sinking into a tar pit. And the very last thing he sees is the pure joy in your face as he loses himself into the abyss and falls out of existence. So he's just gone.
Awesome.
And do me a favor. You got a crit on that one. So you got 2 10s, which means you're going to take 2 stains.
Oh man!
For doing that. Yep. And the fight is not going to go on much longer. In fact, that was probably the final death in the fight. So as everybody is
I
Sabat.
beg to differ.
No, it can be the final one. Don't put it.
We're okay. I meant of this fight, of this confrontation. All of the Sabat are watching as you embody Clan La Sombra in this action. And while you're thinking about that and contemplating on your humanity, we need to go back to Emil real quick.
Oh dear.
So how's Emil feeling as you're running down the running through the tunnels?
He is. I've been thinking about a lot about how he feels, but you asked the question and I wasn't prepared to put it in words. He feels like, one, he has been outdone professionally.
Mm-hmm.
He feels embarrassed. He feels betrayed. And probably most prevalent of all, paranoid. Because now he doesn't know who to trust or like how deep does this betrayal really go? Because he's just like he's running through his thoughts of who was all working with the Katarina. Benny, Paul, maybe Dr. Ford, maybe Mr. Prophet. Where was Custos? Is Custos in on this? Is M secretly been Sabat this whole time? Like his mind is just going down this drain.
You have no idea who you can and who you can't trust.
Yeah. And then he starts thinking, well, why didn't the Archons stop? Why did the Archons not intercede the Katarina? And then that's when it really starts to get to him.
Yeah.
Can he
how far up?
the people
How far up does this go? Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's spiraling right now.
Okay.
The real Archons were Katarina all along.
The real Archons are the Sabat we meet along the way.
Yeah. And to clarify too, because like I know Emil Henry's never really seemed like a paranoid person. But
I disagree, but all right.
Well, fair. He's always on the lookout for it, right? He's always preparing for the one up. But I think that part of his spiral is just because of the emotional damage he suffered from the true faith. And now his own mind he's lost that grip. He's lost his grip on it, and it's just everything's catching up to him.
All right. Speaking of catching up on things.
Oh no.
Emil is running through the tunnels. It's dark. It's dirty. You're definitely uncomfortable with this place. And you are pretty damn sure that as you were running, you heard an explosion happen behind you. And after what feels like fucking forever, you come across a sight that you did not expect to see. And that is what first looks like possibly a lover's embrace. Can I get a wits plus insight roll from you, please?
Absolutely. I have a question really quickly, mechanically.
Yes.
I've never done this in a game, but would it be fair to say that I'm suffering from a compulsion of paranoia?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Add that on there.
I've never just assigned myself a conviction or a compulsion before.
I am all up for you guys adding things to your character for the fuck of it, if it makes sense to the story. And with everything that's going on with you right now, yes, you are paranoid.
Okay. So
welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, Henry's paranoid, and Dr. Prophet's like, "Look, I've been here the whole time."
Yeah.
So wits insight.
Wits plus insight. As
And
you
motive?
walk up what
Motive
looks
specialization.
No. This isn't really motive. It's more just seeing the way things are being done.
Okay. And I hate to say it, but compulsions make this lesser, so...
Mm-hmm.
2 successes on 2 dice. Those are both hunger dice, by the way.
2 successes on 2 hunger dice. Okay. When you start... What would you do if while you were running through the tunnels and you suddenly saw someone in front of you? Who don't seem to have noticed you yet.
Is there any other like alternative paths? Because like right now he just wants to get away from everyone. He needs time to think.
Okay.
So like his idea was like he told everybody about the exit to the silver mine, but he told nobody about the other exit.
That's true.
And he is trying to find his way, the most secretive path possible to get there. What he's about.
You definitely have the ability to turn around and run the other way. These 2 women seem to be massively preoccupied with themselves.
I mean, does he recognize either of them? Like in the instant that he's making this decision, does he recognize either of them?
It's Lily and Dr. Ford.
Oh no. Seeing them
in a very close,
intimate
embrace
moment. Yeah. Damn it, Mekhet.
What? I didn't do anything.
Like there was all this. There's just this wound that Henry has, and that right there was the salt in it, and like he feels angry but also terrified. Huh. I'm gonna just make a roll really quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 success.
Yep, that's not enough. I was rolling a frenzy test again.
Oh, I don't think this would be a frenzy situation.
Well, it was more of a. Am I going to be pissed off at this or not? Because it looks like Dr. Ford is also involved.
Okay.
With the
okay. Tell you what. Just because I'm like a glutton for punishment, give me a wits and awareness.
Okay.
And do you have sense the unseen or just heightened senses?
Heightened senses.
Heightened senses. Okay.
Yep. So wits awareness plus heightened senses.
Yes. Yeah. Heightened senses works.
Minus the paranoia penalty.
Minus the paranoia. It's one of those situations where the storyteller just wants to intercede and give away information.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I wasn't even fully convinced that was the path that I wanted to go yet, but wow.
1 success. Okay. I'm
not even fully convinced that he's angry enough to be frenzied, but he is just angry.
Yeah.
If I turn back and go, like if I double back, am I going to have to go back out toward the Elysium?
I'm going to go ahead and say that you were heading towards the best possible exit that you could think of. But you definitely did pass some other ways you could have gone.
Okay. I'm also, I will say this for the sake of Dr. Ford here. I am at Hunger 4. And heightened senses, so I don't know if that was what the smell was.
I mean, the smell of the blood. No, but actually with heightened senses, you can smell kindred blood in this cave.
Okay. So, I don't know what to do here. I'm actually at a loss.
Okay. Well, they don't seem to be in much of a hurry. But I mean, does Emil find himself in the situation where he's just staring at what's happening, or?
I think Emil's a lot more, and I think Emil's in an emotional state where he would be much quicker to make a decision than I am as a player.
Okay.
I think his initial reaction would be, before to even get any real information, he just wants to get gone.
Okay.
So I think he just leaves.
Alrighty. Then.
Sorry, Dr. Ford.
I mean, Emil would be doing that, I guess, and
I'm sorry.
I guess we have a situation to resolve with Dr. Ford now.
I'm so sorry, Dr. Ford. I did abandon you all.
I'm gonna
like you abandoned me first. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna state this: out of all of you, as much as I love your characters, Dr. Ford's my favorite. You're not supposed to tell your kids that you like them more than the others. Let's see.
Well, it's what you're supposed to do when they're about to die.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Dr. Ford was my favorite too.
Well, I mean, things could still happen. I'm just turning to the right page right now. Okay, so with everything that's going on, I'm going to go ahead and say, since there's no big ruling on it, that Dr. Ford could very well do a willpower test to escape the kiss, because vampires aren't really meant for it. So I'm going to take a group consensus on that. What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah.
I thought you meant she could maybe ride out the Diablerie and steal their body.
I mean, that could happen if she fails this.
She has one unspent willpower point. If she spends a willpower point, this means that every roll after this is going to be like the mental and social rolls are all going to be impaired.
Yeah.
At -2 dice. Yeah, so this is like, if she succeeds, she's still not in a good place. Yeah. So while I was stewing and laughing at people's reactions to what's happening to Dr. Ford, I was thinking maybe she'd try to hypothetically bite back and have some kind of contest that way. But at the same time, she's not a very physical character. I don't know if she would survive any.
Well, that's the thing, is neither is Lily, which is why she seduced you into this first. You and Lily might be equally weak.
Well, so, all right. So you're thinking of spending a willpower point to break away from the kiss, is what you're thinking.
What I'm thinking is, you can do a willpower test where you need to get one success to get out of this.
I'm sorry. Can I ask a question really quickly?
Please.
Yeah.
Is Lily not also the adversary that's been a pain in Henry's butt for like years?
No, that was an Eska.
That was an Eska.
Oh, okay.
She's currently in horde form eating a hunter.
Oh yeah, no, never mind.
Because she's 1,000 years old and hungry.
Nah, she could just do her thing.
We're just gonna let her floss with that guy right now.
Okay, I apologize for interrupting. I wanted to clarify because I get to thinking about it.
All right.
Okay. So let's see here. So with my initial thought of possibly trying to bite her back, I don't know what that dice roll would look like.
You said you have one willpower left?
One unspent willpower point.
You have to roll one willpower.
I do have to roll it regardless?
I mean, no, if you want to do this. If you want to try to resist.
In any way.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And the willpower roll is going to be my unspent willpower plus a third of my humanity rounded down.
That's trying to avoid that's trying to avoid frenzy.
Okay, so I just roll one.
You're literally just rolling the one die. You have a 50-50 shot at this.
Okay.
I believe in miracles.
You can do it.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and Roll the dice.
I'm scared.
I'm typing this really slowly.
Yeah, it's suspenseful.
Oh, apparently I have to write the word roll, not the word dice, too. So let me retype that. Okay, here we go. Fail.
You gotta fail.
Hey, that's life. Okay, so here's an idea. Because did that spend my willpower point as well?
I mean, technically, what were you thinking?
One of my thoughts was that I could try to use like telepathy, but if she doesn't consent to me getting into her brain, that would cost me a willpower point as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or would that just turn like a willpower point into like a not a superficial, but a
you would take an aggravated willpower.
Okay. Well, at this point, why the heck not?
Yeah, no, fucking do your thing.
Okay, I'm going to take a 2 dice penalty. I'm going to roll. It's resolve and aspects.
Because you are definitely, when she hits the end, you are going to realize what is happening, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's going to be against her wits and subterfuge. So she probably has a lot of dice in this.
Okay.
Resolve plus aspects -2.
And what is Lily's roll?
Hers is wits plus subterfuge.
Okay. There's your difficulty. Fuck!
Oh.
I'm laughing because it's such a small roll, and she's like, by the way, 10, 7, 7.
Yeah.
It's only 3.
Could I rouse the blood for this?
Yes.
Maybe not.
Yes,
So
but it might send you into a full frenzy.
Well, yeah, she is drinking my blood.
Yeah.
I'm at 3 hunger, so that'd probably put me in a frenzy soon.
You can definitely do it. I mean, there's no reason not to at this point.
All right, so I'm going to rouse the blood, so that'll get me +2 dice back to that roll. So let me see if I succeed. Let me try it without capitalizing the R in roll. Apparently, that broke it.
I feel this is stalling. That's all this is.
Yeah, it pretty much is at this point. What? Oh,
you did it.
Succeed.
Yay.
Okay. All right. So then that means.
I mean, that just means you don't get hungry, or you still get it regardless.
Well, yeah. No, it's I get my 2 dice back.
Ah.
So it's going to be 5 D10 plus 3 D10. So hopefully.
My God.
You can take another willpower damage and go for broke on the ag.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That was 1 success out of all those dice.
Yeah.
2 of them are 1s.
You could always take that willpower ag again and go for a reroll on those 3-1 or that 1-1-2.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
Mekhet?
Yeah.
She's gonna go down.
I'm over here fucking cringing over all of this. This is so bad.
The dice woke up today and said, screw the players.
Okay, so you got 3 successes. Tie goes to the defender. What are you doing?
All right. I am going to use a merit that I have.
Okay.
Called Zealotry. I can turn a normal successful roll into a messy critical. It doesn't change the number of successes.
Okay.
And I don't know what I'm doing next.
Well,
so
you said you're using telepathy, right?
Yes. So I'm going into her brain, basically.
You're going into her brain as she is diablerizing you.
And I am going to be like vicious in this process. There is no subtlety in this entrance into her mind. Just as she is essentially violating my trust and destroying my body, I am going to like as I go into her, as I go into her mind, I am going to try to be as loud as possible to try to like kind of shock her senses mentally and threaten her with all the wrath that I can summon to make the rest of her existence as miserable as possible.
Huh.
I don't know what exactly I'm going to say. Basically, I'm trying to be as scary and as threatening as possible for her to let go.
Okay.
Ford just became her beast.
Okay.
Basically promising to.
Here's the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I am literally writing a mechanic in my head as we are doing this.
Cool. I'm down for this.
I need you to roll a resolve plus occult.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
And we'll see how this happens. But I have an idea what the outcome is.
So that would be typically a 4-dice pool. Because this is a mental roll, and I am technically at this point impaired, I'll go ahead and subtract 2 from that. So here I go.
Your difficulty is 1.
Okay, thank you. I feel so much less terrified. Here we go. 1.
Tie goes to the active kindred. So, as you are screaming in her head, and you can hear her screaming back, you suddenly feel as if somebody has just dumped sand all over you. You look down at your strangely incredibly expensive red nail polish manicure as you see the ashes fall down to the ground through your fingertips. And you are in 100% control of her body.
Wow.
Dr. Ford is a Toreador now. With all of the access to the blood sorcery and everything else Dr. Ford had, but now in Lily's body and access to everything that she had.
Oh, shit.
Deep cover agent, let's go.
You've 100% taken control of her body, and it is yours that is now ashing to the ground.
I always knew you had it in you.
Well, shit.
And as you are trying to understand and comprehend everything that is happening and how this may have happened, you hear in the back of your head the familiar voice of Lily going, "Well, I guess we're fucking stuck together now."
Oh, good, you're here.
She is now the voice of your beast.
Wonderful.
At least you don't have to listen to your sire anymore.
Yeah.
Shit.
This is probably worse than just straight up dying.
I mean,
oh god, I'm a Toreador.
You could always, I mean, you are effectively going to register as a Toreador. That is that. But there are multiple ways in the world of darkness where you can actually, like, turn your physical form back. If you wanted to. There's Profane Heros Gamos for blood, Thin Blood Alchemy. There's Vicissitude. There's plenty of things that you could do to fix this. But you definitely are not bound to the council. You definitely do not have to worry about the weaknesses of Clan Tremere.
But since I am in Lily's body, do I feel any kind of camaraderie with the rest of her pack?
Oh, God, no.
Oh.
You don't feel any camaraderie in here. Whatever blood bonds, whatever vernaculum ratings or anything, they've been destroyed because it's your blood that's inside of her now. But yeah, you have no loyalty to any of them. You don't have to worry about any of that. I am kind of curious on what you plan on doing now.
Oh gosh. That I no idea at this point. Well, I am not surprised that I didn't technically get out of this alive. No one's going to recognize me as Dr. Ford.
No. You also have 3 levels of celerity, 4 levels of presence.
Oh.
Your Auspex is pretty much the same as it was. You also have you have 2 levels of Protean as well, one of them being Serpentis, Eyes of the Serpent.
Oh gosh, that's a lot to take note of.
Yeah. Good thing we're recording.
Yeah. Well, as far as updating character sheet, I can do that much later.
Oh yeah. Don't feel obligated right now.
But I don't have any of Lily's unique knowledge of these tunnels, do I?
I will allow you to do a wits plus streetwise roll to see if you can figure out how to navigate.
Okay. And that's with the impairment?
No, your impairment's fine.
Okay.
Your beast has been completely sated. Your willpower's fine. I think you still have that aggravated willpower, but aside from that, you're good.
Okay. Yeah. Assuming no changes, it's just going to be a straight 2 dice roll. Try to figure my way out.
Mm-hmm.
0 successes.
0 successes. The last thing that you hear before we move on to the next scene is Lily laughing at you, going, "I'm not helping you with shit."
Were you really ever going to help me with shit?
Maybe if you'd asked nicely. So Emil is looking for another exit. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Would you do anything once you find it? Or is this a walk into the sunset kind of situation? Or, well, not sunset. Or is this a walk like fair escape situation?
I think for the most part, this is going to have to be a fair escape situation.
Okay.
But he is calling loose end.
All right. Let's go ahead and do that. Do you want that to be open or do you want that to be private?
I'll let you decide.
Do you... Oh, well, let's just ask everybody. Do you guys want to be surprised when we put this up, what was said, or do you want to listen to it now?
Oh, that's a good point.
It's up to you guys.
I'm all for surprise.
Yeah, I like a good surprise.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine either way, so
all right.
Surprise I suppose it is.
Well then, Silent, please join me behind closed doors.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. You are able to...
Oh boy, this session took a turn.
Yeah! Yeah, that last session, I was worried this one was going to be boring. I'm glad I was wrong. Fucking poor Benny.
Right?
Okay, so you are able to get out of the tunnels and get to a place where you can get good reception.
Okay.
So you call Lucinde. What else are you... yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So to kind of understand where Henry's going, you know how he operates, like from city to city.
Mm-hmm.
And we had talked about it in the beginning, but we just kind of brushed over it. Like his haven was actually like a private jet.
Yes.
So he is assuming that it's outside of Prague, like the part of Prague that was under the assault from the SI. Which is what I imagined, because that's why he could never actually like leave.
Yeah, there's no airport in the map for the video game. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So like his haven has been outside, like he's been trapped away from his haven.
Yeah.
Because I imagined he was staying with Elena during the events of the intro.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
He is making his way toward. He's like gonna hail a cab or something to make his way toward the airport.
Okay.
And he is dialing Lucinda hesitantly.
All right. After a couple of rings, you hear Lucinda pick up. She doesn't say anything. You just hear the phone, like, you hear it answer.
Okay. Alistair Hogan reporting.
Mr. Hogan.
Things took a turn for the worst. I was operating an evacuation scheme with M. I don't know how deep this betrayal goes, but Ekaterina was allowed to just enter the Elysium simultaneously while we were being assaulted by Entity. I believe my auditors were compromised beyond my ability to even recognize it. Ekaterina has outplayed us all.
And the situation currently?
Currently, I am evacuating. Any kindred that I believe to be my ally, I have reason to believe has turned, or was never truly my ally to begin with. The Camarilla M has the plan, assuming she's not also conspiring with the Ekaterina, which I'm not sure. It just so happened that none of the court was to be seen when Ekaterina walked in, so either they allowed her in or she killed them, I'm not sure. I narrowly escaped.
We've already received word that the majority of the Camarilla have evacuated the city. That the known Anarch population, likewise, has evacuated the city. I believe you and yours, and whatever Sabat may be inhabiting, may be the last kindred within Prague at the moment.
And good riddance to them all.
But you believe that your compatriots betrayed you for the sword.
It would seem that way.
Interesting. I guess we'll have to see how this goes.
The only one that I could assume did not betray me was a little Sombra named Paul. However, his allegiances are still undetermined. I never quite counted him as a truthful ally to begin with.
Well, the Lasombra are not ones to be trusted.
I'm headed toward the airport now. Where am I headed to?
There's a situation that may demand your attention in New York. I would suggest heading there.
Do I need to take the precautions to burn traces of a mill from Prague, or will you have that handled?
Do what you need to do, but we will also take liberties.
Understood.
No reason not to cover things on both angles.
Well, if the remaining members of my turncoat coterie and the Sabbat are all that's left in the city, I would say find a way to initiate whatever plot the Inquisition had and let them finish wiping out the remainder of the kindred in the area. Otherwise, there are 4 names going up on the red list.
Agreed.
I would understood. Hogan out.
Yes.
He'd hang up.
Mm-hmm.
Flag a cab and I guess head to the airport to set off to New York.
All right. And with that, Paul, Mr. Prophet, Dr. Ford, and Benny will all be added to the red list. At least they will be added to the red list, the waiting list, because there's only technically 10 on there at a time.
Yeah.
But that should make things interesting if we get to bring these characters back. So I'm going to go back to the Elysium now.
Hang on. I gotta ask for player affirmation here.
Yes.
I'm not crazy for seeing everything in that through that veil, am I?
Oh no! All of that was fun. All of that was fun. I was, especially when I told you that you were all paranoid and shit and stuff like that. Yeah.
Because it was man, it was just it was such a fustercluck of of miscommunication, but man, did it look bad on every single person involved.
Yes, it did. I agree.
All right. Well, I will silently listen in to the remainder of the session.
Okay. In what I'm seeing for this story right now, Emil has now called fair escape and has exited.
Oh.
Dr. Ford, I believe, is now currently lost in the catacombs, but will eventually find their way out.
All right.
But I would also say that is Dr. Ford done.
Fair escaping.
Mr. Prophet has the option of fair escape. Is Mr. Prophet gone?
Prophet will take fair escape.
Okay, then you have escaped as well. And Benny is currently laying on the floor torpid with everything else happening around him. What is Paul doing?
I feel like Paul has not really registered much that was going on around him.
Okay.
Until he was done killing the witch hunter.
As the smoke clears, so to speak,
everyone's gone except for
you don't see Dr. Ford or Dr. Ford left. Obviously, Emil disappeared. You don't see Mr. Prophet anywhere. And you see a you could swear steaming body of Benny on the ground. The horrid form that was Ineska is now starting to disgustingly, with the sounds of its bones popping back into place, return back to her standard form as Kristoff runs to her and holds her tenderly, asking if she's okay, when she's the one who caused the majority of the horrific damage to these humans. And everybody is just standing around looking at the place that this fight has just taken place in, with the 3 highly damaged corpses of SI in pieces all around. Wilhelm is gorging himself on one of the victims. Sam doing the same. But you in a Katerina, she's standing near you, and she's looking down where the hunter used to be. And all she says is, impressive.
Paul's looking around, kind of almost sadly. He looks over at Benny's smoking body and back to Katerina, a little worried, and asks, what happened to Benny?
He attacked me.
Why would he do that?
That is a good question. He's not dead. We could very well wake him up and find out.
Paul's shoulders kind of slump a little bit, and he just looks lost.
She actually looks at you, and she goes to, if you don't want her to, you can step out of the way. There's not going to be a test involved or anything, but she goes to put her hand on your shoulder.
He doesn't move. He lets her, and
she just says, "You look lost, little magister."
He pauses for a minute. I thought they were my friends.
It's very hard to have actual friends within the ivory tower.
I haven't really engaged in our society much before now. I was part of a group within my clan, and I didn't really know that there was anything outside of that. I thought this was my chance to find myself. He looks back up at them. He finally looks up at Katerina and asks her, "What are you going to do? What was the point of all this?"
What was the point of all of this? Well, this fight, I don't think there was any point. And she looks over and gestures towards Benny. This was his want. I wanted to just leave. And that is what I plan on doing. And you'll notice, like, the rest of the Sword of Cain who's with her are starting to just grab things of value. It doesn't look like they're looting, but it looks like they're kind of just like picking up things that should not be found. Like maybe things that the Camarilla should have taken with them. And heading towards that tunnel again. And as they're all walking away, she does turn to you and goes, "You are free to do whatever you want. I don't suggest staying here, because that was just a small portion of hunters that are coming. You can come with us if you want. But if the Kindred stay here, Prague is going to burn." And she's just going to turn and start walking.
Paul spends probably a good 20 seconds looking between Benny and the disappearing form of Katerina. He doesn't really know what to think of why Benny attacked, because he doesn't know really what was going on with the book or any of that kind of the tension and feelings that Benny was feeling.
Why don't we go ahead and do that humanity test for Paul?
I was actually going to suggest that I
might
forfeit the humanity.
Oh, okay. All right. So go ahead.
Because I don't think that his convictions really help mitigate that, except maybe he has a conviction to keep his sworn word, and he said that he was going to protect Elysium, so technically he was, but also given his mental state with his friends disappearing like flies and feeling that kind of ruthlessness take hold.
Yeah.
He doesn't really, he feels very detached and alone. So I'm willing to just take that.
Okay. If that's how you want to do that, I will not argue. You can go ahead. What does that put your humanity at now? Is that are you at a 6 or a 5?
It's at 6. I think we discussed me starting at 6, but I don't remember if we ever decided. So,
Well, what was your predator type?
Grim Reaper. I think that's how I got some back.
Oh, yeah, no, you get a humanity +1 because you put people out of their misery.
Yeah, and I think I had started down because of his background, so that evened out to be a 7.
Yeah. Okay.
So now
Well, then you go down to 6.
It probably feels a little less harsh and a little more like returning back to how he was before.
Okay.
He will take a moment to walk over to Benny, bite his own wrist, and dribble some blood into his lips to try and wake him up. I give him a fair shot of getting out.
I believe you have to be like 2 points of blood potency over Benny.
Yeah, he doesn't know that. He's just gonna try.
Yeah.
So I'll do a rouse for that, and then he will. Oop, what happened? Oh, 1 second. All right.
Yeah, you get hungrier.
He will pause for a moment, place his hand on Benny's chest, and tell him goodbye and good luck.
Okay.
And then he will get up and follow Katerina out.
Okay. So you go with the Sabbat?
I do.
All right. When the Elysium is completely empty and quiet, and at this point, Emil is on his private jet heading to his next location for work. And Dr. Ford is coming to grips to what her new reality is. Who the hell knows what Mr. Prophet's doing? And Paul finds himself a Lasombra in the company of the Sword of Cain. That Nosferatu Sam pops out of obfuscate, scoops up Benny, and starts taking him down the tunnels with them. Within a couple of days, there's going to be an entire invasion force of the Society of Leopold in this Elysium. They're going to be finding various relics and treasures that the Kindred have hid for 1,000 years. They're going to find the torpid body of that Toreador prince. And they're going to take him. And systematically, they're going to make sure that there are no Kindred left in Prague. They're going to kill pockets of anarchs, Camarilla neonates who are overconfident about the fact that they can handle the situation themselves. But very quickly, Prague is going to join the ranks of London, Vienna, and the growing number of cities that have been completely cleared by the Second Inquisition. None of the elders are going to wake up that are buried beneath the soil. None of them are even going to be found. And they're going to stay sleeping. Everybody involved, the Camarilla, the Sword of Cain, the Second Inquisition, all of them believe they won. And that is how we end this story. Post.